My name is Pat Kiefer. I'm a 25-year retired law enforcement officer from York County Sheriff's Office. So on April 11th, about 11:30, it felt like somebody stuck a hot poker through my chest and out the back of me, thinking to myself, you know, God, don't take me out like this, because I knew whatever it was something I'd never felt before in my life.
Pat's case was diagnosed as what's called an intramural hematoma. Looking at Pat's scan, two things really struck me out when I saw that. One was that the blood had actually leaked around his heart, and he was in something called cardiac tamponade, where the blood around the heart was preventing it from working well.
The pressure was unbelievable. The pain in my back was unbelievable. And I yelled for my wife as loud as I could. And so I made it to the living room at that time, knowing that I was about to collapse because I felt myself starting to go unconscious.
He was covered in sweat, barely breathing. He was blue, and basically I just keep telling dispatch what I see.
This is a surgery emergency. This is an absolute, we need to get this taken care of. Aortic dissections themselves can come in many shapes and sizes, and you never really know how bad it's going to be until you're in there. And sometimes this dissection is continuing to evolve even while we're waiting for the patient to get there. What typically is the quoted mortality is, if we find a dissection, it's 1% per hour for the first 48 hours, as far as if you do nothing. If it's a bad type A, the surgical outcomes, recoveries, etc., it's about a 10 to 20% mortality rate, because some people never even make it to the hospital.
From the paramedics who responded to our house, to the doctors and the staff at Atrium Health in Pineville, and how quickly they were able to get me diagnosed. As they were diagnosing, they were setting up the stage for the next treatment. I was able to complete 12 weeks of cardiac rehab, paid for in full except for $10 per visit. Again, I can't say enough for Dr. Bradley LeNoir, because he truly saved my life that night. And without them, I don't know where I'd be. I don't know where my family would be.
This is why we're taking care of folks, getting people back to living life, and seeing that your surgical result has enabled them to do so. I'll give up a few hours of my life to give him a few years.
We're done.